I was supposed to meet Matt downstairs 15 minutes ago. I'm late. Morning.
Good morning.
We're headed into our first meeting now. I'm not gonna like film these meetings with important people, so just bear with us. Here's Matt. First meeting done. We're now headed out to the valley for meeting number 2.
And you're gonna have to get over 3 lanes right now.
Whoa. Sorry.
There we go.
There was no parking here, so I kind of had to cram her in there. Matt had to climb out on my side.
There we go.
Yeah, no problem. Our next meeting is 20 minutes away. Going to the Apple store quickly so I can get a new laptop. Mine had some sort of critical failure this morning. These things are so expensive. Alright, we got the goods. Another extremely pleasant experience at the Apple store. It really is like the greatest customer experience.
So easy.
It's the greatest retail experience in all of retail.
Which is the most absurd name ever.
Wait, that's where we are right now?
Hidden Valley Family Farm.
What town is this, Matt?
Portola, Menlo, Alerts or something.
Not sure where we are geographically, but it seems like a really appropriate place. So why not? All right. Okie dokie, welcome to this week's Q&A. I am here somewhere in Northern California, about 40 minutes outside of San Francisco. This week's theme is about entrepreneurship. We're out here for business. That seemed appropriate. Okay, let's see what you guys had to say. Grant asks, what is the absolute worst part about being an entrepreneur? This is a little double-sided because the worst part is also the most exciting part, which is absolute uncertainty. There are 0 guarantees, there are no promises, and that is a terrifying prospect. Max asks, have you ever thought one day you'd arrive where you are now? That's a great question. The answer is no. I never thought I'd literally be where I am right now in my career, but I knew a couple things. Even when I was really young and really poor, doing really horrible jobs for a living, and that was that I would be working for myself and I would be doing something that was my own creation. So something that I was personally passionate about because it was a product of my own brain versus working for someone else or in someone else's operation. I just wasn't sure exactly how it would manifest. I don't know that anyone can predict that. John asks, do you have any previous business entrepreneurship ideas before Beam? The last job I had, I was 20 years old when I worked for someone else. So I've been working for myself in businesses that were mine for the last, 14 years. It's just they were a lot less structured than Beam. Beam is a very typical startup. You idea, team, raise money, build a company, launch a company. And the other versions of my careers, of my companies were very different. Last thing I was doing prior to Beam was like advertising, was branded content via YouTube. And that was a much less structured company. But it was certainly a company that took risk, and all the factors that lead to entrepreneurship were enveloped in that company. And everything I've done since I started working for myself. Dean Tristan says, I don't have a question, but I love you, man. Hashtag no homo. Dean Tristan, why the need for the no homo hashtag? Can't a man just love another man? Scotty asks, do you think that there's still room on YouTube for a career, or do you think the market is saturated now? No, there's definitely space on YouTube for a career. I think people see YouTube as a place that it's easier to succeed than maybe Hollywood or in television or other more mainstream media outlets. The truth is, it's not. The access is easier. It's hard to get an agent and move to Hollywood and do all that shit that doesn't guarantee success anyways. YouTube's easy, you just start an account. But where you go from there is not any easier. It is just as hard to be a YouTube star as it is to be a movie star. Make no mistakes, it is extremely hard and extremely competitive on YouTube, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a multitude of opportunities there. I'm not going to say who asked me this because I have a harsh answer. Why should I trust myself? How do I know it's not a waste of time and money? If you're asking yourself that, then you shouldn't trust yourself, and it is a waste of time and money. You need an unbridled confidence to succeed as an entrepreneur. Arthur asks, best tip for young entrepreneurs, never give up. And that sounds like a platitude, but I mean that. Because if you try and then fail and then try and then fail and then try and then fail and then try and then fail, and just keep doing that, eventually you will succeed. It takes the gumption to keep going that separates the winners from the losers. It's like that poster where there's a kitten hanging off a tree and it's like, you haven't failed until you've given up. That's true. I'll end this on a personal question. What's the biggest risk you've taken and was it worth it in the end? First, I'll answer the question, yes. And the biggest risk probably for me was moving to New York City. I was 19 or 20 years old. I had no money. I had no work experience. I had no education. I had no friends. I had no contact. I had no resources. I had a 3-month sublet and then I was homeless. My only previous job was as a dishwasher. And I moved to New York City to become a filmmaker. And I did that with a 2-year-old son. It is one of the few times in my life where when I look back, I have no clue what I was thinking. I just blindly did it. It was a purely emotional decision. There was no rational or logical reason to take a chance like that. Looking back, it only inspires me and motivates me more to embrace risk. Had I yielded to logic then, I don't know where I'd be, but I wouldn't be where I am right now, and I'm very, very happy right now. Okay, that's this week's Q&A. Thanks for joining me. Hey Matt, I'm done filming the Q&A. Did you want to play on the playground or can we go? We are driving home and I stopped up here because it's just so insanely beautiful. There's the great Matt Hackett right there. And I'm just shooting some time lapses. Oops, there's a cop. There goes the police, Matt. So down there's a big sign that says, road closed, do not cross. And we crossed it to come up here, but Matt and I were invited to a sneak preview screening of The Martian tonight. Well, Matt was, I'm like his +1. We're headed there now. Pretty psyched to see it. All right, these passes get us free everything in here, and I don't know what to get. All right, since this is a pre-release movie screening, I'm putting this camera away before anybody freaks out because I think I'm gonna film the screen. I'll check back in after the movie. All right, we just left Mars. What do you think?
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, I give it a big fat thumbs up. It was super fun.
Follow me on Beam and hurry, because I might die. And take pictures of the sunset. Holy smokes. So Beam, what I was trying to say is you should follow me because I just risked my life. Try and go get a shot for you, so that you guys would follow me on Beam, and then thunder and lightning and rain came and I just barely made it back to my car. So can I get an A for effort and maybe a follow?